Hi everyone, this is Grace. How are you? You know, we would live up to age 100 and we would be working until age 80. So let's redesign our lives. As you know, about 14 hours ago, I was doing Facebook Live from Tokyo Airport Lounge. And now I'm back in the States, and after I return home, I have to make some errands. So I drove around and I'm back and I have so much energy. You know why? Well, this time it was international business trip, but it was only 3 nights, 4 days. And I hardly have any jet lag. There are 2 reasons why I hardly have any jet lag. Oh, 3 reasons. Number 1, I'm used to it. Usually, I fly out. I have international business trip usually once a month or every other month. So I'm used to it. And number 2, my kind of job, well, I have multiple streams of income, but my type of job is a real intellectual job. So when I arrive, the next day I have to be in a business meeting, and I cannot afford to say, oh, I have jet lag, I have a brain fog. No, I cannot afford to have a brain fog. So that's why when you know you have to be together, you have to be concentrating in a business meeting, you may not have a jet lag. I think it's more like for those people, they love to say, oh, I have a jet lag, I have a jet lag. You know, there are people who love to say that, but not me. I cannot afford to have jet lag. And number 3, there is a physical reason why I hardly have jet lag. These are the supplements I take. This one, these 2 are excellent. They regulate your body clock, even though I'm not making any medical claim, and also the results may vary. And what I do is I take double the dose. For example, regardless any country I am, I take 4 tablets of this. At night bedtime, I take 4 of this. And then during the daytime, I take a total of 8 to 12 tablets of this. So yes, you know, when you take, like me, this many doses, like a double, triple the dose, it gets expensive. However, it is a money value. To me, I just cannot afford to have jet lag in my career. So as long as this is a healthy way for me to regulate my body clock and not to have brain fog due to jet lag, it's worth it for me. It's all personal. So now, since I came back from the business trip, I like to talk about air tickets, especially international air tickets. And again, it's very personal, up to your personal preference. I'm not pushing my value, and it's okay you don't agree with me. However, I've been an international jet setter, or I've been flying since 1975. 1975, I've been flying around, and my passport is always full, or I always have to add another pages, because 10-year passport, I usually run out of pages. So I am a world traveler. And this is based upon my story, my experience. And when you fly international flights, number 1, I wouldn't fly low-cost carrier. I wouldn't fly with low-cost carrier. And number 2, depends on the country you go, you should pick the country you fly the most, and then you should fly their national carrier. This is just a rule of thumb. It may or may not work for you. So for example, the country I fly the most frequent is Japan. So naturally, I am the frequent flyer of Japan airline. Second to Japan, the other country I often fly is France, because I'm a typical girl. I love Paris. I love Paris, so I love to fly to France. So guess what? After Japan airline, Air France is my favorite airline. So that's the thing. If you fly to London often, then fly British Airways. Or if you go to Canada often, then fly Air Canada. If you go to Korea, then fly Korean airline, not the Asian airline. So that's me. And of course, it depends. Many Japanese people, they like to collect mileage on United. Then they fly All Nippon Airways. I'm sure All Nippon Airways is good, but personally, I love Japan Airline much more than All Nippon Airways. Well, two reasons. Number one, as I said, I've been flying international. I've been a world traveler since 1975. Many of you are not even born, and I've been already traveling around the world. So at that time, Japan Airlines is the only international, well, they are the national carrier of Japan, and All Nippon Airways were only domestic. They weren't coming out of an international market. So since 1975, I've been flying Japan Airlines. I trust their brand. Number two, this really make me such a loyal Japan Airlines customer. When my mother passed away out of blue while she was visiting the United States, I have to cremate her and I have to carry her remain to have a family funeral in Japan. And at that time, you cannot have, hand carry. Either you have to put up there or you have to put down there, during the takeoff and the landing. But, if it's your mother's remain, ashes, you don't feel like put it up there or you don't put it down there, right? So Japan Airlines, at that particular flight attendant, she was empathic to me because here I am, suddenly my mom died, I have to carry my mother's ashes back home to have a family funeral. So they understood, they were very empathic to me. So they didn't push the rule to me. So they allowed me to carry my mom's ashes throughout my flight. Since then, I was in tears. I was so grateful because they respected my mother's ashes as though this is the real human. So, since that moment, they grabbed my heart. I'm such a loyal Japan Airline member. So as much as time allows, sometimes even I have to, well, not I have to, but when I go to Europe, I know Trans-Pacific is much faster, right? But as much as the time allows, I even fly Trans-Pacific from LA to Japan, and then from Tokyo, I fly Japan Airlines to Paris or Italy. Usually I would do that if I have time. So, see, I love Japan Airlines so much. And also, I would post a different video, just a 1-2 minute video, but Japan Airlines is the only airline that I know because I don't fly All Nippon Airways, but Japan Airlines is the only airline. If you happen to have a window seat, and as your aircraft pulls out and try to taxi to the runway, you will see the maintenance people waving to you, wishing you a safe trip. It's only Japan Airlines. And any country, when I fly to KL or fly to Singapore or fly to Hong Kong or even Paris, and if I fly Japan Airlines, all the Japan Airlines maintenance crew, they will wave you goodbye and they wish you safe trip. That's the only Japan Airlines thing I can know, because I don't fly All Nippon Airways. I don't know if they do that, but really, really nice. So, and also many smart Chinese people from mainland China, smart and rich Chinese people, they fly Japan Airlines because they know one thing. When they fly Japan Airlines, they come to the States. Somehow it's better. Well, I'm not saying, so you cannot generalize it, but if you fly Japan Airlines, they will really take care of you, and perhaps your passport control might be expedited. And many smart, rich Chinese people from mainland China knows it. So I see increasing number of Chinese passengers inside the Japan airline aircraft. Okay, that's all for today. Here I am, Grace. I love Japan airline. Okay, see you. Bye-bye.